Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, now we're officially
Hello.
hello. Welcome to Your Journey, which is basically a podcast of everything and anything that's spiritually related in this human 3D reality. All
This
of it.
is our episode 13. It's our final episode of the season 2.
Yes.
We're going to take a few weeks off this July
Yeah.
to reconfigure our next season.
We've
And we're going live.
Yeah,
in
we've been
season 3.
Exactly. We've been wanting. Well, I've been wanting to go live for a very, very, very long time. I really want to interact with everybody and take this to the next level. So we decided that season 3 is going to be completely live, so you can join us. We'll have a couple of. We'll probably have different surprises for everybody in terms of maybe readings, and we both have a lot of experiences and tarot cards and sheets and Akashic readings and all that jazz. So we're going to try to see what
spontaneous.
How can we incorporate our gifts exactly with you guys? And today
we're doing that.
Yeah. Huh?
Today we're doing that.
Today, yes, we are doing that.
One of my gifts.
Yes, 100%.
Which is the Akashic Records,
yes.
Which a lot of you who are watching have had a session with me already in your personal journey.
Yeah.
But the Akashic Records is a library of our past, present, and future lives. And it's literally, I go into a library and I meet your masters, teachers, and loved ones. And your masters are the entities that have been with you for all the multiple lifetimes. And they are not, they never come into human form. They are always in the ethers or in this library. Your teachers come into your current lifetime. They sneak themselves into bodies because they're like, wow, this girl is not listening to the lesson over and over again. We're going to come back and we're going to it comes in at a spur of a moment when you're not supposed to get hit by the car. And it's the stranger that takes you out. That's your teacher. And the loved ones, people that have passed on in your current lifetime and your other lifetimes. So I've said this to many people when I explain the Akashic Records to you. You could be in front of me and a grandmother could show up and you're like, well, my 2 grandmothers are here alive, but it could be a grandmother of 1555 that shows up, right? Because it's just roles that we're playing. And it's just a message that needed to be imparted by this lifetime, right? So it's very cool. But today we're not doing Katarina. Today we're doing crystals.
Yes.
Because I can go into the Akashic Records of crystals. I can go into countries that we live in. I can go into landmarks like the Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls. I could go to mountains, oceans, deserts, seas, because those belong to the people, the citizens of the planet. I can go into businesses that you own. I can go into jobs. I can go into your houses. I can do Akashic for pets. And I don't know if I've forgotten anything, but I can do everything.
So just to summarize, Akashic Records are basically everything and anything that's been done and written into the energetic field. So specifically the universe. There is what we interpret it as a book, but it has and holds absolutely every single thing that has ever happened on the planet of whatever you're asking for, because everything is a vibration, everything is information. So
it's a vibrational frequency.
Yeah. Which is
in a library.
Yeah. Which is information that is in this huge record. And some even say that the records are held on the backs of whales, but
they are. Something. They're held by the backs of whales and dolphins. And that's why the whales are not to be touched, because they carry our Akashic Records. So
I love how passionate you got about that in that split second. But yes, and this week we wanted to finish it off because it's been pretty intense for all of us. So we're going to end this season with this kind of introduction to season 3. And to just dive in and see what beautiful magic you can probably tap into if ever you get curious about this, because this takes training. Sabrina has done this for quite some time because it still takes a lot of energy into going in and channeling in and taking this information and translating it, because a big part is that she's translating everything that is being given to her, all that information is being given to her. And sometimes you need, I don't want to say the proper training, but you do need the stamina to have and translate this information.
Yeah,
so it
because
can be heard.
the information doesn't come to me in words. It comes in energy, and I translate it accordingly. So a lot of some Akashic Records readers don't even see visuals at all. They hear sounds, or I see visuals. I'm a visual person, human. The avatar is visual, so I see visual, and I have a feeling. But it's not Sabrina giving you the message. It's actually taking the messages from your masters and your teachers.
She's like the.
And I'm stirring shit up too, by the way. So just so you know, when you do Akashic Records, it's very important that you know that I'm
talking from experience right now.
Experience, if you ever watched my video last week, is that we are. It's not just about people come to the Akashic Records and say, "Oh my God, I want to know if I was Marie Antoinette in the past life," and you're gonna get shut down by the master, right? If it's like really. It's like you're just doing a superfluous ask, you know? They're like, oh, I want to know if I'm King Tut. And they're like, no, it's not that. It's not about what, like, this famous personality that you are. You could have been, very much so, but that's not what's important. It's important to unblock something within you. There's a blocked pattern or blocked behavior that you are constantly coming up against. The Akashic Records will unlink it. Does it unlink in the first record session? Probably not, but it takes a while, and then it's like every session.
It's basically like
a Reiki, like energy she does, an energy work.
It's a different type of tool that you can use because you're actually going into past written in the ethereal fields,
blueprints,
exactly, in your blueprints, in your DNA, like in your ancestry, like all that. You're bringing it up to the surface to see what is the cycle that I need to break, what is the lessons that I keep running into that is keeping me stuck. And every single person will interpret it in a different way. I'm not saying that word properly, but interpret exactly. And that's the beauty of different energy workers too. Anybody who's working in these kinds of fields, they're going to have their own way of doing it. So it's just beautiful. I've had 2 sessions with you so far, and they've been quite magical. But this time around, we're not going to do it of a person. We're actually going to do it with these 2 little stones that I had purchased a long time ago that she fell in love with. And I decided to gift her. And it was just really, really interesting because I would go to these, it was in not Saint-Anne-de-Bellevue, here in Quebec anyways. I would go to these specific stores and they would always have these beautiful stones on special. I always go the ones on special.
What are they called?
These are desert roses. So I don't know if you'll be able to see them properly. But...
to me, they look like dragon skulls.
Really?
Skulls. I look at them and I'm like, oh, they're my dragon skulls.
Interesting. What I found really interesting that she was saying that they were sister. So it's really cool that I ended up getting both of them. And for her to say like they're sister stones, I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't see them as dragons. I just saw them as beautiful works of art.
House Targaryen, dragons.
You've definitely been watching Game of Thrones. So we're going to go into these records and we're going to ask questions because, as she said, it's not limited to just people's experiences, but Mother Earth has a history. The stones of Mother Earth has a history. The trees, the plants, the sky, the air, everything has a history and therefore a record of its history. Therefore, something we can tap into. So this is what we're going to be tapping into today.
So you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to do a prayer and I might be silent for a bit.
We're gonna
get
tap into our magic, guys. This is like
so tap in. You can tap in and you can ask your own questions to these stones. Maybe we can telepathically hear you. So let us begin. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, Help me to know the desert roads in the light of the Akashic Records, to see desert roads through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of desert roads have for it, or him,
them.
The records are now open. Every time I open the records, and I say this to all my clients as well, there's always an energetic shift that happens within the room. I don't know if you feel it.
Yeah, I feel it.
There was like a little bit of a,
I feel
like an energetic wave that comes through. So I'm gonna leave this for you to. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna ask, but you're gonna have to ask me questions to get a better feel of it.
Let's start with, what do we need to know about these desert roses? Where is it you come from, and why are you here with us right now? Why have you chosen us? Because I believe stones choose us. We don't, not the other way around. You need to hold the stone?
I should hold one of the stones, but I don't need to because I'm already in a story. Oh. I already see the story. So it's so interesting. Hello. Okay. And it's funny because I don't know if these actually come from the desert.
I think they told me exactly where it came from, but technically they should come from a desert, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so because right away I see this man dressed in like a dark orange but very flowy garb.
Okay.
You know, like it's pants or not, but it's like I've seen like North Africa kind of imagery, you know. I don't know, it's Libya, bottom. But it's interesting because he's walking through this barren land, and there's a lot of wind in his face, and he has like sand coming into his eyes. And so why are you showing me this? So it's a process.
This is what I love about the Akashic Records, because she needs to now translate all of these imageries into, okay, well, what does this all mean, right? So when it comes to any kind of energy work, the key element here is patience. Because this is work. A lot of people think that energy work is just like, woo, no. It's a whole process.
So interesting. So now I'm getting, thank you. You're good. You're good on the side here, because now I'm getting this little boy running up to this man and tugging at his his clothes, very loose clothes, and telling him, come with me. So he's guiding him to like a cave of sorts. Is it a cave? I don't think it's a cave. It's like a mountain, like a ragged mountain, like a rocky, like rock.
Okay.
Kind of.
But inside the mountain? Like
no,
something
like outside. It's outside, and he's like, come. And now they're like kind of climbing up this mountain. It's a big mountain. There's no grass anywhere. Except for like little branches, you know, like a dry, like the twigs, but very dry. So I'm assuming it's a desert, but it
doesn't feel like a desert.
It feels like it, but it's still rugged, the landscape.
Okay, like rocky.
Yeah,
it's a desert,
like
but more
like
rocky.
It's not like full sand.
If this sounds familiar to you guys, like an area, let us know. We'll look into it after. We'll do some research and see if we find exactly the imagery that she was talking about. Let's see, the tea's ready.
This is interesting.
Yay!
Story here.
I love it when you say this is interesting, because you know it's gonna be good.
So they're climbing up this mountain, and I'm seeing so I'm seeing on the side of the mountain. You know what it looks like to me? I don't even know. I'm gonna make you guys can laugh at me. Stalagmite, you know, like you're laughing.
There?
Stalagmite or something. You know when you're inside of a cave and those like the drippings inside a cave kind of thing.
Yeah. Not cyclones. I have cyclones, but it's not that.
You know what I'm saying, guys? So anyways, but it's outside of the mountain.
Okay.
And the little boy's like, look, and it's not. It's like a long stick almost. It's like a long but jagged. And there's no voice. They're not talking to each other. He's just pointing to it, and the man is he's taking like he
rips it apart.
He rips it out of the mountain.
Okay.
But it's like sticking out of the mountain. It almost feels very surreal. Like I feel like this era, this civilization is like a future, but not, because I could see it. I could see this like this jagged kind of crystal, like this color almost, and like even orangey a bit. And it's sticking out of the mountain in different areas of the mountain. And this man is like pulling it out. So he pats the boy and he gives him like money or something, or shillings, or I don't know what he gives him. So,
give him something.
Just give him something. And now this man is going back to a market. Now we're in a market, like a busy market. That's also, it could be Morocco. It could be North African. It looks North African to me. Anyway, and he's taking apart these now. They're chiseling it. Oh, that's so cool. That could be, look.
What do you mean chiseling?
Like, look at this one. Like, it almost looks like it's come out.
Show the camera.
Like, it does look like it's been ripped out kind of something. Interesting. So now he's like chipping away. He has someone chipping them away. And he has taken them. Okay, and now what? He's putting them in a camel pouch. Okay. But he's not going anymore. It's someone else. He's sending someone else on a camel.
What does it all mean? What are you trying to say? My original question was, what do we need to know about the stone? So it's probably telling us about its origin. That's what I'm getting from it. And why is it with us? Why has it decided to choose us? That was my specific question. Those were my two questions. What are earrings, by the way?
Thank you. Brazil.
Yes.
I need, like, the reason we're seeing this is because the master has stepped in now and said that, to answer your question, by the way. I was like, let me tell her. I'm like, okay. The reason that we're seeing this is because, wow. So this is
the best part is how excited she gets when she reads her Akashic reading.
So it's like he says to me, he goes, you said it. It's not the past. It's the future that you haven't. You all have already lived, but you've just like I've seen the future before in the Akashics, but this is again the future. But it's there. Oh, these are really special. Then he's like, if you have desert rose, like certain ones of these are, they are the crystal of the future.
Oh, interesting.
But oh my God. Wow. Did you know this? Oh my God. Okay, 1 second. Sorry. I'm so sorry. But this is like, it's so funny. I'm going to tell you why it's funny. Because today I was like talking to my higher self. This is a little side note. And it was, today you're going to talk about telepathy. And I'm like, why? Am I going to talk to am I telepathic with somebody? They're like, no, you're going to talk about it. And that's what this is.
Really? What do you mean?
You're telepathic. It's a telepathic satellite.
A stone to help you with
your telepathy.
What? Maybe I should take one back home.
Maybe you should not.
I don't know what to give you, John.
Like, it's just it's a form of communication.
Okay. But elaborate.
But the stones are not happy that they were ripped out of the mountain.
Yeah, clearly.
Because they actually have a purpose. They're meant to channel the information from the omniverse.
Interesting.
So the man ripping it out was doing it for money. Right? He got a lot of money in the market for it.
Because he knew what it was.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Very interesting.
But then I want to ask, but I'm going to ask a question.
Yeah, but he didn't answer my question. Why do we have it?
In the future, why is it about money?
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good question.
And
because if we're in the future and things are shifting, why money? Right? Which makes a good point.
But the masters looking at me like, are you for real? I'm like, yes. He goes, we had the apocalypse in the future, and that's why we came back to change it. I'm like, oh, okay. So we had to do that. Okay.
So are you saying that if I grab a stone, we can actually telepathically talk to each other if we each had a stone?
These stones specifically were being used, from what I understand, as it could be telepathic, but I think you could even ask questions to the omniverse, to the universe.
Oh, very interesting.
Fully receive
information. Oh, so why do we have it? Okay. Why did it come?
Why do you have it
across our paths?
Oh, really? I just got a message, but I have to give one back to you. I'm like, no, I'm a Taurus. I need it.
It's this one. I know it's this one. This is
no, I'm gonna choose it. No, man. Wow.
I feel like we're supposed to be working with it together. Are we gonna be telepathically working? She's unimpressed right now.
I don't know if you're anyone's a Taurus watching, they understand what the hell I'm saying here, because we're a little bit 40. Like it's mine.
What is she gonna do? Dum dum dum.
I throw off the balcony. Okay.
Damn.
Okay. We were supposed to have it, me and you. That's why. This is not a coincidence that we're here talking and doing a podcast
about these two specific tones. But can they tell us why? Because that's another thing too. We're not supposed to know, technically speaking. No. So even if you ask a question, you might not get the answer right now, because things sometimes need to align before you know a question, because it might change and alter the course of your destiny or whatever you're supposed to be doing here.
We're here to teach, though. Interesting. What are we here to teach?
With these stones?
Yeah. They're going to be...
We've been talking about it. We've been talking about telepathy.
Yeah.
We've been talking about how we wanted to practice that.
Oh, we have, actually.
Oh, yeah. We kind of do already a little.
We already do.
It's just we're not completely conscious. We feel like, just to give you an example so you don't think we're crazy.
I mean, it's okay if you think
it's okay if you think, yeah, I agree. But I was saying today how I just feel like I want to cry. And she was telling me how it's crazy that she had a message
today. But right before Katerina came in, I was lying on my couch doing absolutely nothing. And I got a message. When Katerina comes, you're going to sit and she's going to cry. And then she's like, I need to cry today. I'm like, of course you do.
So this is what I mean about telepathy. It's going to happen. We all have it. It's just a question of fine tuning to that sensitivity, because some will be more sensitive than others, because each has a role to play. And some is sensitivity and some is this kind of channeling. But everybody has that, you
try not to put your hand on the table. You're shaking the cat.
You're right. We've been having.
Okay, I have to tell you something. I have to say something right now.
Okay, go.
So we individually need to put the rock under the sun.
Okay.
For 24 hours.
Separate, like me and my house and you and yours. Okay. 24 hours.
Yeah.
Starting tonight.
Yeah,
we can do that.
We need to fully cleanse it. Not the moon, the sun. So not 24. Like it's only the sun, not the moon is necessary.
Oh, okay. So but 24 hours has to be 2 days then?
No, just do like it's my human self that said 24 hours. So like they said, when the sun comes up until the sun goes down. So whenever.
You've mastered and have done a lot of work when you know the difference between your human self versus the collective and higher self. I don't think it's higher. I think it's just not a frequency, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just a word that it's easier to say, like my higher self.
To understand.
Anything.
Because we are in this human
my higher self, my future
right?
self, universe, the God, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
don't overthink it, is what we're trying to say. And we're saying it to ourselves too. I'm saying it to me. These conversations, we're saying it to you, but we're also talking to ourselves as we're talking, as you can see.
Yeah.
What a weird. I hope you're enjoying this episode. This is once again unscripted, unfiltered, and we're just like winging it. So you're winging it with us.
I have nothing else to say.
There's nothing else?
Is there anything else you want to know? Because
there's questions you had asked that I found interesting. So, well, what is the message? So we're supposed to work with it.
So if any of you have desert rose at home, if you want to go buy it, it's suggested to cleanse it with the sun for 12 hours at least, and then use it as your next step in telepathizing. Is that a word? Or like trying to, or you don't have to it's not for only telepathy, it's communication with the omniverse. So what I understood is that it's asking, like you can do like I'm doing kind of to the Akashic Records, but talk to your loved ones, talk to the God, talk to whatever, and ask. I understood. Thank you, Master, because it's like this again, I was like just told, and he's like, this is just a tool for the human, right? Because they don't trust themselves to receive the answers. When you're receiving the answer, like it's 8 times out of 10, you don't trust yourself. So we begin with the desert rose, right? We begin with other the tools and resources so that you could familiarize with yourself with the quality of the answer, like coming in. So when you're using this is all coming through this. It's really interesting. It's a teacher probably here showing me this. And they're like, hold it in your palm of your hand and fully focus on this, but also picture the universe or picture the human that you wanted to connect with, or whoever it is, or whatever it is,
or the universe,
and feel the answer and discern. You'll usually the energy, like I can't even explain my energy, like how I can discern, because for me it's like I know right away if it's my ego or it's my higher self, because my higher self feels calm. My ego feels hurried and rushed or like stressed, or like real, like
not even real.
It feels.
The way I like to explain it, me, is that
I don't know how you say it.
Usually the ego or
the conscious mind,
like anxiety speaks loud and intuition speaks softly. It's like she said, it's not something that rushes. There's usually going to be a lot of storylines behind it. Oh, I should do this because I could get this. I might bump into this. Meanwhile, your intuition is going to be like, go here. It's not going to give you a reason. It's not going to give you it's not going to give you too much of a storyline. It's just going to guide you, because that's what it's meant to do. It's just supposed to guide, right? So basically what I'm understanding what Sabrina is saying is that have fun with it. Use it as a tool and be curious. Get curious about it. You can start by asking questions, being quiet, being still, because we all know if we're distracted, we can't really hear the messages coming in. So number one is just find a moment where you have, let's say, 5 seconds to yourself, 5 minutes to yourself, where you can be still, where you can be in silence, complete silence, to see what kind of reaction your body's going to have, whether it's with your ears, whether it's with imagery, whether it's with words, whether it's with song, who knows, maybe you'll feel a song that comes through. So what I'm understanding is that you're saying get curious.
This came from California. Do you know this?
I did not know.
This came on a boat. It was on a boat for a long, long, long time, because the crystal is like, feels tired to me. It was in a cramped area for a long time.
Interesting.
And it's like I see the crystal as a he. This is a he, a stone.
Both of them?
No. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. It's like the union.
The masculine and feminine?
Yeah. But they were separated on their voyage.
Huh. And then they found each other?
They only found each other when you brought them back together. Because did you buy them in the same place?
Yeah.
Interesting. Because what I see is that they're on this. I really feel bad for them, actually. I'm so sorry, you guys. I had to go through this because they're on this voyage and it's like choppy waters and it's like they're in separate boxes. They're like clinking against other stones but they weren't together. So you know the way, I don't know if you know this, like the cows, when cows are put into slaughterhouses, the mother cries out to the calf, and the other, like they're all night long, you could hear the mothers crying out to their calves. You know that?
I didn't know that.
And it's like there's that separation anxiety. That's what I'm feeling here with these two. They had separation anxiety for years.
That's pretty intense.
Because I don't think they landed in the same, they didn't go to the same vendor. So that's why it's like amazing that you found them together.
Interesting. I don't even remember. I know I got them at the same place. I just don't remember if I bought them in separate occasions and then bring them together. I actually don't remember. It's been a while now.
So I just asked them, I said, why am I giving it to her, dude? Why I shouldn't keep the twin flames together? Like,
she's like not having it. She's like,
and they're like, no, it's fine. It's like, now they know where they are. Their energy is just like has been connected.
She doesn't want to. How long do you think it's gonna take her before she actually gives me one? You can start making bets over here.
I'm gonna get it. Am I giving her the feminine or the masculine? Ha! Which one do I get? And it was like, obviously, you already know which ones you're getting. Which one do you think I'm getting?
Feminine. Yeah, we're going feminine this one.
Hilarious. All right. That's it. That's really beautiful. I just wanted you to know, because as she was talking about I was thinking about this. It's every crystal has a different story.
Of course.
Right? It's like this story. This was a really sad, story. I personally, I have a hard time with crystals shopping. I don't shop anymore for crystals, because to me, it's like we're ripping them out of the mountain. It's like someone ripping me out of my home, right? And it's kind of sad. I feel like we need to just keep them there. The human wants to buy it and like keep it with them, but like, can we just keep it where they belong? It's like us ripping apart the trees because it's kind of like ravaging. The human is ravaging the mountain of the crystal.
Yeah.
Like the man did when he ravaged it, that thing. So yeah, I'm like a little bit on the fence with that, even though I have all these beautiful crystals here. So now I don't buy crystals anymore, because I feel like, okay. That's why I get a little triggered when I see these like live crystal
shopping.
Oh, look at this big chunk out of the mountain. I'm like, oh my God, these, because I have a sodalite. I did a Akashics on a sodalite and an amethyst. And my sodalite, oh my God, it was the saddest story in the world. He was crying because when he was pulled out of the mountain, his mother and his father, he was there. And he was like, I was taken away. Like, that made me sad. But now I take care of him. So.
But now it's mine.
Now it's mine.
That face was priceless.
It's mine, and it's not going to anyone else except for Katerina, apparently. One of them. Anyways, I don't think that was one. Anyways, okay.
Anyways, if we put it into good use, at least it's going to be honored, right? That's like
let's put our did you just fill up my thing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We're going to put them to bed.
Meaning that we're gonna
close the prayer.
Yes. Every time
I can if I don't close the prayer, the Akashics will close on their own eventually, but it's better to close it. Sometimes I used to keep the Akashic Records open when I'm writing, and to give me
more inspiration.
Fun.
More information.
Like that's why I've told some of my followers that if you're creative in your painting or whatever, and you want more creativity, you can always text me and I can open them for you like quickly, and then you can tell me when it's done. Yeah, like my family.
That's so cool. I didn't even know you can do that, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, because there's a lot of energy that's coming through. So there's beautiful, potent, creative energy. Might as well just use it. But also, just as a side note, any kind of ritual or any kind of prayer or any kind of energy work that you do, you want to close it up, because at a certain point it could be very heavy. There was one experience where I was actually doing a Reiki session for my father, and it was at a time where he was just very, very depressed and didn't even know what was going on. And I decided to do a Reiki session, and it was in the beginning phases of my Reiki session, and towards the end I had forgotten to close it, and then I was going actually to a class. It wasn't Reiki, but it was something else, with a teacher that I do also the Reiki with. And as I was driving, I just felt this huge intensity. It felt like I had a hard time concentrating, and it was just super intense. And then when I got to my teacher, I'm like, I don't know, I did this Reiki session and I feel completely like disoriented. And she's like, oh, did you close it? Did you close the session? Did you close it's almost like a portal you're opening, because it's a portal of energy that you're inviting in, right? It's energies that you're inviting in and out to help whatever your intentions are. And I'm like, oh, I did not close it. So it's like at that moment I closed it and I felt completely better. So it's also out of respect to the energies, out of respect to the stones. Here we open up your book. It's like if we're opening up your books, we want to know everything about you, but then you're like, okay, I'm done. So it's like, okay, chapter closed, chapter book, and it's out of respect too. So it's these little mini ethics when it comes to energy work, magic, and all that jazz, right?
Yeah, it's just like a sacred space that we need to close.
It's a sacred space, exactly. Someone's sacred space, sacred garden, where it's like, okay, they were nice enough to open it up, nice enough to share that information. Now let's respect it and close it up and put it to rest, like she said. So yeah.
All right. So let me just close it. There was while she was talking, I asked. I said, "Are you sure I have to give her one of the stones?" And they're like, "Yes." I'm like, okay.
Of course,
I'm not being. I'm not.
I'll wait till the end.
Are you sure this is my ego talking? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Am I kidding though? Anyways, I would like to close the prayer.
But am I kidding?
Anyways, yeah. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the lords of the Akashic Records for their point of view. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are not closed. Amen. The records are not closed. Amen. The records are not closed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
So beautiful. Akasha is Sanskrit
for
primary substance from which all things are formed.
Oh, I love that.
I'm reading about it. And I'm like, oh, look, that says, who are the lords of the Akashic? I never even talk about lords.
I don't think, is there really?
They protect our records. They may love you, but they will never come to visit you. So don't call them in. They're busy. This is from my class.
Interesting.
The masters.
I've been doing, I've been taking up a couple of extra classes in regards to just talking with different entities, and they're all us, right? At the end of the day, they're all us. But there's some entities, that's what we were being taught, is that you can call them up, but doesn't mean they're going to show up. And if they do come, some of them come and some of them are brutal. Some of them are pretty intense. And you're like, yeah, you called me, now what? Like, I have stuff to do. Like you don't call up specific deities for nothing, just because you want to say hello. But then again,
they're just aspects of you anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like aspects of you and living in another dimension or reality. And they're like, yo, You're not even ready for me. So I'm going back.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. You're not even ready for us.
And it's funny because that's like exactly when you start this journey, it's very exciting, and you're calling everybody in. You're like, oh, come on, everybody, come into the table.
I want to talk to everybody.
Tell me everything you know. And most of the time, when I would communicate with them, they were like, yo, you're not ready. I'm like, I am ready. What are you talking about? I'm fucking ready. The
ego is always ready.
And they're like, no, man, it's finished, over, and now get out of our face, kind of thing. It was very much aggressive at the brutal time. So I was like, what the hell? What's wrong? What's wrong with me? You get like that, and it's okay, because you're not.
What's wrong with not being
ready? And a lot of us, you do I learned Akashic Records, I learned tarot, you learn yoga, nidra, whatever it is, all of these things. I went to an ashram and I was silent for 6 weeks, and I come out and it's not that. It's not about that. It's not about what you're doing. It helps, of course, but the work that you're doing is clearing lifetimes of energy.
It's part of it.
It's just part of it, but it's work. So just be patient with it.
Patience
and just allow it to come up. And when it's ugly, I had a beautiful client or friend now. I don't even know what to call you anymore. Your clients, but your friends and followers, whatever. And she's like, oh my God, it's just so much energy, and she did yard work. So now it's like a little thing between us. I said, "Are you doing your yard work?" She's like, "Yes, I'll do my yard work." So whatever it is that you can to release, use that.
Yeah.
Use the tools around you.
Yeah, it's going to be completely different for every single person, and there's not a right or wrong way to actually clear these energies. And clearing is part of it, because I do believe there's a next step to that. Once the clearing is done, then there's a stepping into that genius, stepping into that greatness, but not even greatness, just stepping into who you truly are, because you're no longer what you were, but you need to let that go.
And it needs to settle too. It needs to settle that energy.
Yeah.
We're clearing an energy, but then what do you think is happening? It needs to settle.
You shake water, what happens?
Yeah.
There's waves, and it needs to come back to that.
Ebb and flow. So it's like, trust it. And I want to point out even here, because when you go to any sessions, whether they're Akashic, whether they're energy healing, whether it's tarot, whether it's psychologist, whether it's a life coach, whether it's an osteopath, or whatever the hell you're going to, even a doctor, right? You're going to doctors and they're moving things, massage therapists, anything that is moving with your energy in your body. You need to this is
mentally.
This is a work that is not an instant gratification work. This is not like,
that's a good one.
It's, I'm going to give you the pill and it works.
Yeah.
Even pills don't do that to you. They're all just, what do you call it?
They're just masking.
Yeah. It's just like, it's going to come back anyway.
What's going on?
So everything is like, you're just at the beginning of it, and you're moving things around, and then anger will, and how this energy comes out of you could come in anger, could come in hate, can come in blame, can come in happiness. We don't realize this. Like, I woke up and I'm such a great mood. My energy's high and my adrenaline is because the energy is moving around people's, and it's making you feel great, and you're on the high. And then tomorrow it's boom. I don't know what happened. And it's like walking through the energy and say, okay, wow. And laughing at them, right? Like we said, celebrate the grief, celebrate the crazy. It's
celebrate all the emotions that come out.
It's a real process.
They're all just languages. Emotions is just the language of the body that is telling you.
Language.
I heard recently how anger is basically trying to show you that maybe a boundary has been crossed, or you're not actually valuing your value system. So these emotions are languages, and on the same time, as long as you're being as present as you can, you're gonna know what to do in the presence of these emotions, whether it's taking yourself out of it, whether it's resting, whether it's confronting. We were talking about confronting last week, where it's just confront what you need to confront already, so these stresses and anxieties are no longer in your body.
And try not to hold on, because there's no point in holding on to anything. Don't hold on to the energy, the feelings, the stories that are attached to it. Don't hold on to the people attached to it. Like, stop it. Like, let it go.
They're there to show
because
you
you're holding on to nothing. Okay, we can go on and on.
Yeah. But that is our final episode of season 2. Our season 2 was really just based on different topics, specific topics that we just dissected and had our own experiences and little teachings and lessons that you can incorporate. And then we've been loving all the feedback of season 2.
Yeah.
Everything you guys have shared in your experiences. Keep doing that. If you need to, I even encourage you to go and rewatch those episodes, because you might understand and something else might click and something else might come into shape or form, or another memory that you'll be able to share with us too, right? But season 3 is going to be completely different. That's why we're not going to be doing any more episodes until August. We're going to regroup.
We're going to do like some fun. We're going to do like astrology.
Yeah, we really want to incorporate this as live as possible.
Like fun, interactive, who you're compatible with, bullshit, like that. Fun things, because it's like fun, but also informative.
It's not bullshit too, because you need to know how
it's insightful
compatible, right?
Yeah,
insightful, but also
I don't know. We're not even sure what we're going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll let you know when it comes.
We know we want to restructure it. We know we want it to be live. We know we want it to be interactive. And we know we want to just engage with you guys that much more. So yeah, we'll keep you guys posted.
All right. Thank you so much
yeah,
for taking part and participating and collaborating
100%.
and listening to us.
And season 2,
and commenting,
sure. And season 1 too.
Feedback. You've been amazing. We're already at season 3, amazing.
Yeah.
And
then for all those who still want to watch us until July, we still will be doing our mini tarot series. We are now at the Wheel of Fortune. So it's just a mini series where we dissect and go deep diving into the major arcanas. And we're going to do that up until card 21, which is the World card. And we've even incorporated specific questions that you can ask us that we can now pull for you specifically. So it's like about a 10-minute video, 10, 15, depending.
Yeah, because we
some of them are 20, yeah. Because some of them, we even get our own little epiphanies when we're actually reading the cards or talking about them. So yeah, you can still catch us on that every Saturday. Do we have a specific time? Not really. Huh? We've been playing around with time frames, but on Saturdays,
Fridays,
it will come out.
out. Yeah.
Until August, guys.
Also, let us know in the comments what times you're available for live.
Prefer lives, yeah.
So we're probably gonna do it Mondays or Tuesdays.
Mondays or Tuesdays, or what about Wednesdays?
Or Wednesdays. Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Yeah. You let us know when you're available.
We'll do a little poll.
Not your when you are available to join us on the live.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do a poll, and also we'll be transferring now into our private. We've been talking about this on our private channel, on separate channel. It might just be easier like that, but we'll do a poll for the time frame, and we'll let you know.
Sorry, the Akashic Records put me to sleep sometime.
It's been a long freaking week, man. Anyways, love you guys.
All right,
we'll give you more details very soon. Follow us and stay tuned for details.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.